Today, I'm really excited to talk to Kelly Perkins, the founder of Spinster Sisters, a personal care brand. Kelly's passionate about sustainability, and it's reflected in her products, which are all plant-based and packaged in zero waste and plastic-free shipping products in plastic-free packaging.
Packaging.
We'll get that right. So, Kelly, so great to meet you and talk to you today. I'm going to turn it over to you to let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your brand.
Perfect. First off, thank you for having me. Like you said, I'm founder of Spinster Sisters Co. We are a plant-based personal care company. Beauty and personal care space generates 120 billion units of plastic every year, and only about 9% of that gets recycled. About 12 million tons of that lands in the oceans every year. So I kind of made it my mission to take a little bite out of that. So we make solid skincare products that come in FSC-certified paperboard boxes and tubes. So they are home compostable, and all of our ingredients are plant-based. So they are biodegradable and safe for the environment.
What got you into plant-based? Like what was your first oh wait, this has what? Talk me through all of that.
1993. I'm old. I have lots
No.
of gray, you can see. 1993, I read an article about triclosan, which is an antimicrobial agent that has been banned in a lot of the free world for many, many years. Just got banned in the US in, I think it was 2016 or 2017. But the companies had like 8 to 10 years to get it out of their formulations. Most commercially produced big skincare companies, I won't name any names, but many of them have this ingredient in it. And it's a hormone inhibitor. It is a cancer-causing agent. And I just made the decision then that I didn't want to put this on my body anymore. And I didn't want my loved ones putting it on their bodies anymore. So I rode my bike down to Boulder Bookstore and bought books on how to make soap, which if you've ever made soap before, it is a very fun process. I didn't really think I had a creative bone in my body, but it's been a great creative outlet for me, and I just got addicted to the process. I had looked around quite a lot to try to find skincare products, and in the early 90s, there really wasn't that much plant-based natural skincare available. So I just started making my own, and company's kind of grown from there. I started off doing craft fairs and farmers markets, making my friends try the products.
Your test bunnies?
Yeah, all the funny things that you do as you're starting off. Now we're sold in about 4,000 retailers around the country and growing fast. And it's very exciting to be able to be a part of getting people away from these toxic ingredients and this terrible packaging.
That's an amazing journey. And
Yeah.
I know from my own experience how hard it is to build a brand, especially for women and small businesses to survive for that amount of time. What were some of your biggest hurdles as you were kind of building the brand?
Well, so in 1993, I was just making for family and friends. I didn't actually become a company until 2012. Before that, it was just kind of a hobby. So I honestly have never worked in retail in my life. I had never done formulation, which is now my favorite thing to do. So, and had never run a business. So the biggest hurdles for me were just learning all that it took to, start a business, get into distribution, pitch retailers, finance, all the things that come along with building a business. We had shampoo and conditioner bars since 2014, which was, pretty early in that space.
Yeah.
Trying to build a business when people aren't really familiar with that kind of format was challenging for sure, but we have a very loyal following now, and people are really, I don't know if it was people had time to do research during the pandemic or what it was, but that's really where we kind of launched mostly. Before that, it was kind of, lifestyle, craft fairs, farmers, small boutiques, things like that.
It's amazing. And being part of that growing awareness of, there's options. We have options. And to be part of that and actually on the leading edge of that is fantastic.
It's been fun for sure.
Yeah, I bet. That's great. And so you're a fellow B Corp. Yay. Hooray for B Corps. Tell me how that has, when did you get certified and how has it shaped your business or was your business already sort of along those lines anyway?
My intentions were along that line anyway, but the business was not necessarily prepared for that. I have known for a very long time that I wanted to be a B Corp. It's an incredible organization, and I feel like as business owners, we're responsible to help drive change that's better for our planet and better for people. I was not prepared for how big of a process it is to get certified. We were a fairly small business, so we just finished our first recertification. So we've been certified for 3 years now. And we were a pretty small business when we started that process. We had policies about vacation time and volunteer time and donation reimbursement and all the things you do, but we didn't have it documented. And, I wasn't at the time offering benefits for my employees because I didn't think that I could really afford it. So that whole process changed everything about my business in such a positive way. And, we're doing manufacturing, which is not typically a business where people stay for a long time. But I will tell you, since we went through this certification, our turnover rate has just dove. We have people that have been here in production now for 7 years. They really believe in the mission. My employees really believe in the mission and what we're trying to accomplish. And it's just really been fun and overwhelming to go through that process. But I am so thankful that I did it.
Yeah, it's a serious undertaking. As you are, a testament, when you take care of your employees, that investment in them is so valuable. And the return on that investment is, phenomenal. So it's amazing that big companies, they don't do that. It must be costing them billions of dollars.
Really been terrific. I'm so thankful for it.
Tell me a little bit about how your customers influence your products and your decisions. How do you incorporate their feedback?
Yeah, we do surveys when we can. It's funny because I started out doing craft fairs and farmers markets. So it was really, I was right in the face of my consumer and getting feedback. And, I would have people say, will you make this? Will you make this? And if enough people said it, then I went, okay, this must be a thing and we'll do it. But for the last 5 years, we haven't done markets. So it's been harder to kind of make that connection with our consumers. It's more now a connection with buyers at retailers and things like that. So I kind of took a step back last year and did a couple markets just to try to make that connection again. And it was really interesting because we'd have people walking past the booth going, oh, there's Spinster Sisters. Oh, I'm all stocked up already because I buy it at Whole Foods or something. And then I had another customer come in and she stood in the booth for 20 minutes and sold our products for us to customers. So it's a lot of work doing those markets, but it's really valuable to kind of make that face-to-face connection. And now we have in our manufacturing facility, we have a little store. So people come in and shop and they can refill things. So I still kind of get that connection, but I think I'm going to keep doing markets every now and again just to try to make that connection because you get really valuable feedback that you wouldn't necessarily get unless somebody was standing in front of you.
Yeah, that's so fantastic. I love that, real personal touch.
Yeah.
You mentioned your facility, and I'm so curious. I think I've read that it's 100% solar powered.
It's wind and solar powered.
Wind and solar powered. Can you tell me a little bit more about the plant itself and how you came across?
Yeah, so we're very sustainability focused, very. My husband is a physicist working in renewable energy. So you have the tree hugger, composting nerd married to the renewable energy nerd. And
Match made in heaven.
so we, kind of ignite more and more passion about it in each other about sustainability. So it's been really fun doing that. When I first started, we had solar. Well, I first started in our house, which has solar power, but in our first true manufacturing facility, there was solar panels on the roof, but it was only like 3 or 4 panels, so it wasn't enough to power our whole facility. So I went on a search for renewable energy that we could get through Excel Energy, our local power company. And they had, interestingly, just launched wind source energy. So you could buy credits for wind power, which there's wind fields out in northern Colorado and eastern Colorado. So you could buy wind power credits. And it's interesting because they then did a commercial about us using wind source power. So it took a lot of research to find the source for that, but and it's more expensive, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. So
Thank you. Thank you for caring. So tell me a little bit about what you see for the future of your brand. Where are you trying to take it, and what's your sort of big vision?
I just want to keep growing the business. Again, I think it's, as business owners, our responsibility to do the right thing. So I want to keep doing the right thing. We are in the process of starting to move towards regenerative farming for our raw materials. So it's kind of an evolution over time, starting with renewable energy for the manufacturing facility, then learning more about plastic-free packaging and all of the things that can go along with that to make a better packaging solution for people. Now I'm down to, we've always purchased fair trade shea butter, fair trade cocoa butter, fair trade coffee. We buy sustainable palm oil for our soaps that's grown in Ecuador where there are no orangutans. So it's just kind of an evolution of what's the next step that I can take that's being more responsible about what we're offering. And our consumers really engage with that too. And when we survey consumers, what we hear a lot is trust and loyalty, that they believe us when we say and do the next best thing for people. And I think that that's important as a business owner, to have that kind of trust from your consumers.
100%. So important. And I really appreciate the attitude of, you are educating yourself as often as you can, and just, taking it one step at a time. You don't have to be perfect, right? There's
Right.
always going to be something more that we could be doing, but to just accept that, like, well, I'm going to do everything I can, and I'm going to continue to educate myself. And I think that that's where some brands might get a little stuck of like, well, I'm either going to keep this, kind of stuff it under the rug so nobody knows these, kind of bad things that we're doing and we're greenwashing, or, oh, if I can't get it perfect, then I'm not going to, try it all. So really appreciate it.
I really believe in imperfect action. And I hear from our customers all the time. I'm trying really hard to go plastic free in our house, and, I'm struggling with this, and what do I do about this? And it sparked some really interesting conversations. But you don't have to be perfect. You just have to start taking the steps towards that, towards being better. So, it's been really fun talking to customers and saying, well, have you thought about this? Or they come to me and go, well, what if you did this? It's really interesting to see how engaged the consumers are. I don't know. It's exciting to kind of get that feedback from them.
Right. And learn from them. And I know for me, I've learned a lot from the brands that I work with. So people like you who sort of discovered a new way to package something. It's like, oh, that's really cool. Or better ways of shipping, et cetera. There's all kinds of things that, kind of go into this ecosystem.
Yeah.
And they're all important, but we can make progress by taking steps towards
Yes. And it's next to impossible to get rid of all plastics. We became plastic negative certified through Repurpose Global because, we get a shipment of cocoa butter and it's in a big plastic bag. So we weigh all of that plastic waste. We have pumps and sprayers that on our face care that it's hard to get away from plastics on that. So we're trying to kind of come up with a new solution for that. But in the meantime, every time we send out a plastic pump or spray or something, we account for that. And we work with a project in Chennai, I think that's how you say it, Chennai, India, where they're pulling plastics from beaches and from the ocean. They're blocking rivers that are typically taking plastics out into the ocean, and they're reusing that plastic for new packaging and new things like that. So it's been a very interesting kind of evolution. We use a ton of cardboard, between vendors shipping in and shipping out. Well, I found a piece of equipment that now turns that cardboard into our packing material for shipping out orders. So we're trying to reuse everything that we possibly can to kind of close that cycle of bad business, I guess.
There is so much around the product, right, that gets also incorporated into this, and everything that you can reuse or repurpose. I do the same, like as much as I can. I try to take everything that gets shipped to me, goes back into my shipping somehow.
Yes.
Eventually. Hopefully. That's fantastic.
And I do get sometimes from people, well, it says Amazon or it says, whatever on the outside of this box. Do you really want to ship your products back out in this? And the alternative is to make it waste. So I don't really care if it says Amazon on the outside of the box. If it's a stable box, we're going to reuse it.
I'll put my own sticker on top of other people's.
There you go.
Great.
We got a whole bunch of boxes from a local distillery that closed down that says the distillery name on the outside. Right. So I always wonder what people think when they get orders and that stuff.
So Kelly, tell me, I love to ask this question. What's your kind of go-to for self-care? How do you sort of reset when you're stressed out?
When I'm stressed out, the only thing that really helps is a hot bath. Love taking a hot bath, which I'm not supposed to do because hot baths and hot showers are bad for your skin. But me and my candle and my book go into the tub and chill out for a while, or go to the hot tub, or, whatever. We have a body butter bar that's fair trade shea, fair trade cocoa butter, and essential oil. We live in the high desert in Colorado, and it is the most moisturizing thing ever. So I love using that. My skin feels so good. And yeah.
Good. There is nothing like a hot bath, I think. It just like melts it all away.
We have shower steamers, which make a really nice spa experience in the shower as well. But, you can't really sit there and read your book at the shower.
All the same. Tell me about your what's your favorite product? What's your something that you've been able to create that you're just the most proud of?
I love our body butter bars. I love, love, love them. We have a sore muscle rub, so it's a natural icy hot called Muscle Stuff, that it took me forever to formulate it because I really wanted that icy hot feeling. And so I'd add a little of this, test it out, add a little of that, and it took forever. And my husband kept coming down to what used to be the soap room downstairs, and he said, why don't you just move on? And I said, have you never met me before? I'm not giving up. And it took forever to formulate that, and I love it. And it's one of our best-selling products now.
Yay, what a great story.
Yeah, and it now comes in a paperboard tube also. And then we have face serum sticks that are similar, but really, really, really good for your skin. So I think those are probably the two things I'm most proud of.
We use that face serum stick religiously in my home, so it gets pretty positive reviews.
Thank you.
Good one. Okay, let's see. What else would you like to talk about? Anything you sort of want to be sure it gets out there?
Yeah, I don't know. We're women-owned certified, so we love support from folks looking to support women in business. I feel like women in business don't get the acknowledgement that they should get because we work hard. And I actually met with an investor that said he only invests in women-owned business because women work so hard. So that was nice. I don't want to be preachy about it. I just want to say, again, like little steps change the world. So I hope that more businesses and more consumers continue to make little steps to change things because we're in a pretty dire situation right now. They're
I say
finding
preach.
shards of plastic in people's brains now. I mean, it's terrifying to me.
We need to raise that awareness. Obviously people are going to always make their own decisions, but I think right now we're operating without all the information. And so I think a lot more people who know from brands like yours, that's important. That's something I should be thinking about. That will help us take those steps.
Yeah. And all the forever chemicals and plastics. And yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I know brands have been talking about this for a while, so it's not, this isn't all brand new information, but I don't think a lot of people have heard it. And so I feel like, the more brands like yours who are sort of beating that drum and just saying, hey, we don't carry, these things are not included in our products.
Right.
I think people will start to see. To me, it's like recycling. We didn't recycle before, and then there was this like kind of just growing awareness of like, oh, that's really important. And so a lot more people do that now. And it's kind of like, okay, the next step after that is reuse, right? So, okay, well, now that's more important. People are starting to become aware of that. And I think it's the same thing with the chemicals that make some of these products like super dreamy. They feel really nice and good. But if you knew you were putting that on your skin, like, would you really?
Yeah. And to me, like, if you can't look at a label and know exactly what's in there without Googling it, then there's something wrong.
Right.
Most of our products are made with things that a lot of people just have in their kitchen. So that's a big goal of mine, to make it such that people won't have to look it up and see what's in there. And there's great apps out there now like Yuka that tell you how safe things are. So I think people are definitely becoming more educated and more engaged in that. And it's so great to see.
What was that, Yuka?
You can scan the ingredient panel and it gives you a score. Like our dry shampoo is all natural, so it scores 100. So it's really nice to like be able to walk through and grocery store and say, okay, is this good or bad?
I know you're also part of the beauty coalition, which is a part of the B Corp network. And they're trying to provide a lot more transparency and make it easier for brands to be transparent all the way through their supply lines.
Yeah. We love B Corp. It's such a great community and everybody's so supportive and shares information. And
yeah, I love the kind of contrast. So this is the kind of brand that we want to be, is one that doesn't see it as a zero-sum game, right? Everybody can win here, right? And that B Corp family just feels like we can all be in the same business and all be successful.
Right.
It's not this like, I got to knock them down so I can climb a few more rungs.
That's absolutely right.
All right. Well, Kelly, those are all my questions, unless you have anything else you want to add.
I don't think so, but thank you again for having me.
Absolutely. So great to talk to you and to get to meet you. I am a huge admirer of your brand and all of your efforts. So keep up the good work.
I appreciate it.